Hi peeps, welcome to a video, clearly, obviously, about tunnels.
Clearly, obviously.
Clearly, obviously.
All that because of the title you would have already seen before you
Exactly, yeah. So that implies that we always do videos about tunnels, but we don't always do videos about tunnels, we do videos about landscape. Right, anyway, so when we make a title for a video, we often have to, not clickbait it, but we have to give a really catchy title, real something that grips you. I don't think we're going to do that for this video. I think Kettleness and Sandsend, pretty self-explanatory. Everybody knows about Kettleness and Sandsend, but we're also going to add a little bit of more of a twist to this, and we're going to try and find some of the original tunnels. 6 more tunnels that were planned on this line, plus Grinkle to the north, but 6 tunnels were planned in the Deviation Act in 1873. So let's go and find those 2 tunnels and maybe the 6 deviate. We're not going to find 6 more, but we're going to find evidence of where they went.
We'll find the spaces.
So you join us today back on the Whitby, Redcar and Middlesbrough Union Railway. In our last video, we visited all the stations on this famous route. Today though is all about the tunnels, because apparently you lot love tunnels. So ultimately, along this line, there are 3 tunnels completed, although that wasn't the original plan. The most northerly tunnel we won't be visiting because it's actually used as a quarry line today, that's Grinkle Tunnel. We are, however, trying to visit Sandsend and Kettleness Tunnels. And we've now come to the first tunnel on this line. So the first tunnel was Sandsend, and it's a mile-long tunnel. It's straight for a very long way, and I think it curves for about 300 yards to the east for its last section. Now, looking ahead of us right now, they've really gone to town on sealing this up. If you have a look at some old YouTube videos online, you'll see that people have got inside from this end, but they've really gone to town on blocking this up, haven't they? It's safe in here. Someone has graffitied on the brickwork. But yeah, quite a lot of signs saying danger, keep out, restricting no admittance, etc. So as we leave the southern end of Sandsend Tunnel, because you cannot get anywhere close to it in terms of inside it, as we leave that southern entrance, we're now going to walk over the top and go and try and find the northern portal to Kettleness, where you may be able to come through it and see the other portals in between the 2 tunnels. So before we begin our journey north to see if we can get into the other end of Sandsend Tunnel, let's have a look at the original routes, because they tell a fascinating story. In the first instance, only 1 tunnel was planned back in 1866. It was called Easington and now Grinkle. Various alterations were made to Grinkle, including its shortening, and despite a number of other changes and challenges on the route, the Deviation Act was not obtained until 1873. Staggeringly, this act contained 6 further tunnels as well as Grinkle Tunnel. The engineer stated that the headings for these short tunnels along the coast were already driven, so presumably this occurred long before the act actually to build these tunnels had been obtained. So if we head over to Rail Map Online, you can see the blue line as a final route chosen, ultimately built by North Eastern Railway after they rescued the original company from bankruptcy. Handily, the 1873 deviation is marked here on the map in lilac, and the section here is, according to the engineer report, the section that had 6 tunnels that had already started right on the edge of the coastline. So if we flip now over to National Library of Scotland maps, we can find that at least one of these maps contains at least one of these ill-fated tunnels, but we can only find 1. So as we scroll up and down the coastline and we see that 1 tunnel that they have included on the map, now we must take into consideration that the engineer did say he had completed the headings for 6 tunnels, 6 short tunnels along that route. Now no evidence appears to be shown today for that. We did, however, find online 1 picture showing the heading for the tunnel on what is the Keldholm point. So this is what we guess is looking northeast, and the arrow at the bottom there is pointing to what would be the southern heading for that corner tunnel. Now that is as far as we can see that any evidence or any picture that does depict the exact location of one of these mystery tunnels. That gives you an idea of the craziness of the 6 tunnels that were going to be used here, and how close. And look at the cliff edge, look how much is eroding away. You can't even see the alignment. There was an alignment there, but you can't even see that alignment because of how much these cliffs have eroded and slipped. And that was going to be a railway, so perhaps a railway along this route wasn't really ideal because it would have cost a fortune to maintain. So you join us now back at the northern end of the Northern Tunnel, which is Kettleness, where we're heading back south. So Kettleness itself was built on a complete curve and was 350 yards long, unlike Sandsend, which to its south was 1,652 yards long. So, as I say, you join us now heading south into Kettleness Tunnel. Okay, really breezy, really breezy. Right, don't need my jumper, do I? Right.
Breezy, it's good, that means it's airy.
Yeah. Okay, right, Kettleness, 307 yards long, the first of the two tunnels from the north, because we came over the top because you couldn't get in from the south of Sandsend. So let's see how we get on. Just see now that the light on the southern end, northern end, because we're coming from the north. If I look that way, I can't see the other end as yet. Now, if it's only 307 yards long, that obviously indicates quite a tight curve. Yeah, so lots of recesses. There's a huge recess here. Now, interestingly, oh wow, okay. That's why I said wow, because obviously what we're looking at there is, you might just see some light down there. Southern entrance here, probably halfway, is not a recess. Beautiful arched piece over, and in here, up there, goes out towards the coast. And what that is, or was, is where they would put the spoil or the waste from inside the tunnel that they're building, and they dump it out to sea. That's amazing. Let's get and take some pictures of that. I'm positive that I could get over, but I don't know if I'll be able to get back, which isn't ideal. So we may call this a day at... So as you saw, I didn't really fancy climbing that wall by myself, not knowing if I could get back over, and of course scaling the gap between the two tunnels. A friend of ours, however, called Matt, who runs his own YouTube channel, check out the link in the description below, Matt managed to do just that and have a look at the northern portal of Sandsend. So we're going to hand over to Matt for a couple of minutes just to see that journey between the two tunnels.
That was good, team. That was good. Now the main question is, how the hell do we get out? Alright, so this bit's a little bit leaky. Right, okay, so this is locked. Well, that's really good. Okay, wow, this bit is super overgrown. What's the best way to get out? Alright, give me 1 second. I'm just going to climb over and see how we get on. But yeah, that was Kettleness Tunnel. Very good. Alright, now we should be coming to Sandsend Tunnel shortly. There's just so many weeds. Oh my god. So I've got my first glimpse of the portal at Sandsend. Now this bit is completely overgrown. Now I would have gone through Sandsend Tunnel, but I know for a fact that it is blocked at the other side, so there's obviously no point in going all the way there. I will still have a brief look, but yeah, I'm not going to go all the way through the tunnel because I will be stuck. But yeah, this bit is yeah, well and truly overgrown. This is, yeah, that actually looks pretty dangerous, honestly. So at this point, the actual entrance of the tunnel has collapsed. I imagine it's because of the different landslips in the area. Yeah, this definitely feels a lot more unstable than compared to the tunnel over at Kettleness.
So massive thanks to Matt for his help with the video. You can subscribe to his channel in the description below. Matt makes lots of interesting videos about running underground lines. So something, again, transport related for you there. So thanks for watching. This video really has been for us about looking for the physical evidence, albeit online because we really didn't fancy scaling the cliff, of the 6 tunnels that were built, apparently according to the engineer, in around 1870. We didn't find a great deal in terms of the old maps, but it was good fun to have a research. So the question is to you, can you find any evidence yourself looking at some old maps and maybe some LiDAR? What can be seen along that stretch of the coast adjacent to Sandsend and Kettleness tunnels?
This is just for fun, you know.
That's really cool. Yeah, it's safe. You can, inside it is the audit that goes through and up into the sea. So I went in there a little bit and took an O2 reading, but it's 20.9 the whole way.
Oh, cool.
I didn't go too far into it because I didn't have my helmet on me. And it's shale, and there's shale on the floor, and it's just like, if you just knock it with your finger, I reckon a bit will fall off. So it's quite dangerous in that respect, but air quality is completely fine. It's very breezy, so that's what you'd expect. This could be the end of the video. If this is the end of the video, thank you for watching. Yeah. It's been thoroughly joyous coastal walk for us.
It's been gorgeous. It's
been very gorgeous. We've tried to find some old tunnels, not been hugely successful, but perhaps when we have a look online, you may find us more successful. But in the meantime, we will leave you from a very windy northeast coast of England until next time.
Oh, hold on, it stopped. Everything's on.
Everything's on. North east coast of the UK.
Woo!
Just that again. The Scarborough to Whitney, or should we do Whitney to...
Whitby.
Yeah,
Whitby.